Good to see you again. Happy Wednesday, 29th day of April, 2020. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're back at it for another exciting day of local television information, local television entertainment, and, well, local TV. How you doing? It's good to see you again. Lots going on today. Lots of news to get to. Very warm weather forecast, unseasonably warm. Not record-breaking, but certainly probably the warmest day of the year so far. We're going to be kissing 80 degrees. That's the good news if you like it warm. The bad news is no sunshine. Sunshine's taking the day off today. We got a bunch of warm air coming in from the south. Going to give us a little bit of light rain this morning, but it's going to warm us up quite a bit. And then the temperatures just kind of go way down again on Thursday. And then we kind of do this for the rest of the week and into the weekend. Just a couple more days left in April. Friday is May Day. It's the first day of May. And speaking of that, of course, we should be knee-deep in the 101st Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. We are not. They're hoping for maybe something later on this summer, maybe even into the autumn. And to that end, we wanted to replay the very important interview I did via Skype with Darcy Christofferson, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. It's an interview that we taped with Darcy on what was supposed to be day one of the Apple Blossom Festival last Thursday, but full of pertinent information. We hope you stay close for that. Plus, we got sports, including Eric's continuing series of conversations he had with Trey Adams, the big former Wenatchee High School standout offensive guard, and then, of course, a long career with the Washington Huskies. He's now on his way to Buffalo. He's going to shuffle off to Buffalo, if you pardon the musical quote. Eric had a chance to chat with Trey from his parents' home, and we'll have more of that when we get to sports. Plus, of course, we lost a Seahawk member, and we got one yesterday as well. Plus, everything you're used to get your day going. It's 3 minutes after the hour. We have 50 degrees. Yeah, it's warm. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. Even though the clouds are out there, they're high clouds, so all of our PTZ cameras should be up and ready to go. That's the cross camera, of course, centered really right over the Wenatchee Valley. The Senator George Seller Bridge is looking good. Traffic is starting to pick up a little bit more. I don't know if people are just getting sick and tired of staying home and staying healthy, or at least just staying home. But traffic is certainly more prevalent, I suppose, this week and even last week than it was at the beginning of this crisis way back about 6 weeks ago, when traffic just was nothing. It was just Wenatchee and East Wenatchee were like ghost towns. It's still lighter than normal, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. Nothing going on traffic-wise this morning. We've just got the clouds hanging around. We say good morning to Wenatchee, to East Wenatchee, to Sunny Slope, Birch Mountain, Badger Mountain, and everybody. Good to see you. Camera number 2. Let's take a look-see. Oh, Megan, what did you do? Is this Waterville? Badger Mountain. You know what? As soon as I said Waterville, I knew I was wrong. Good morning, Badger Mountain. Wenatchee Valley is out there somewhere. That's a really cool view. That's really neat. You can see the guy wire on your left. It's one of the support wires for the cameras. They have to have these. They're designed to move a little bit in the wind. If they were super locked down and super stiff, it doesn't do you any good, because they could actually blow over in the wind. And of course, Badger Mountain is known for getting rather gusty at times. And so the towers are actually designed to move in the wind. And there's a lot of communications equipment on that tower, including that camera. So that little black thing you see on your left is one of the guy wires that support the tower. And that tower is up there quite a bit. Good morning to our friends in Badger Mountain, where the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. If I say any more, we have to pay the estate of Rogers and Hammerstein. Don't have that kind of money. Camera number 3. Oh, Megan's doing good today. She's throwing me all kinds of loops. Monitor? Steins. I did it again. I was about ready to say Steins, and I said monitor. Darn me. Good morning to our friends to the directly to the west of us. That is, of course, the highway, ribbon of highway flowing through. Look at the orchards, all nice and green. Bees out there pollinating. Spring is everywhere. It's going to feel kind of summerish temperature-wise today, but it's still spring. Beautiful view there, nicely done from the top of Steins Hill. Camera number 4. That looks like Lake Chelan, so I'm going to say the Bear Mountain camera. Hey, I got one right. Wow, good for me. So that would be Wapato Point sticking out there, most of Lake Chelan area. Good view of Lake Chelan. Manson hanging around there. That's a nice view indeed. Is the lake up all the way? Last week, I understand it wasn't. I don't know how long it takes them to fill the lake up. It's kind of cool that they can actually control the level of the lake. I know a couple of weekends ago the lake was not nearly up to where it, for a lot of people to launch their boats, but for those people who had docks that went out far enough into Lake Chelan, they were putting their boat in and zipping around. You can't fish until Tuesday the 5th, but you can get out on your boat if you so desire. Good morning to our friends in Lake Chelan. Thanks for joining us. Good stuff. Good stuff today, Megan. You fooled me. But then again, I'm not very bright. You've probably figured that out. That's why I host a local television show. 6 minutes after the hour, we have a slide to show for you from the National Weather Service. Yeah, warmest day of the year so far, as you can see. We're going to look at near 80. We're looking about 78, 79 degrees. If we get to 76, it'll be our first day above 75 this year. And the average first 75 degrees or warmer day is on April 21st, so it's about on schedule, maybe just a little week behind. But yeah, the warmest day of the year so far is definitely going to be today, and then things change. We're going all over the board is really what we're going to do. And unfortunately, we're not going to have the nicest of weekends as far as sunshine is concerned. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at what Mother Nature has in store for us. From the National Weather Service, Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug. They sponsor the forecast. There you see it. Lots of clouds today with the warmest day of the year so far. 79 degrees. I'll be firing up the air conditioner later on this afternoon. Of course, considerable cloudiness along with a slight chance of some light rain. Whatever light rain we get this morning will come and go rather rapidly. And then look at the difference between today and Thursday. A lot cooler and breezier, so the temperatures are going to crash a good 10 degrees, maybe even 15 degrees as that warm ridge that's going to be visiting us today moves east, moves on out of here. It's also going to make the winds kick up a little bit between the cloudy skies and the breezy winds. It's going to actually probably feel a little cooler than 69 on Thursday. By the way, the winds tomorrow about 6 to 11 miles an hour. Then in the afternoon, we'll have a northwest wind about 16 to 21 miles an hour as the system moves away. Thursday night, partly cloudy, 45 for the overnight low. Again, breezy Thursday night, 16 to 21 miles an hour. West wind, it'll decrease in the overnight hours. Friday, May 1st, sunshine, the nicest day of the week. If you like the sunshine, and just about a perfect temperature, high of about 73 degrees. Partly cloudy Friday night, 49 for the overnight low. Saturday, slight chance of some showers, a mixture of clouds and sun. On Saturday, the chance of rain will increase as the day progresses. We'll get up to 73. 66 is all we're going to get to on Sunday. So temperatures are just a yo-yo. 79 to 69, back up to 73, hangs at 73, back down to 66, 67, 66. For the record, yesterday our high was 66. Our normal high should be 66. Our low on Tuesday was 42. Our normal low was 42. It was an exactly normal day for the most part on Tuesday. Sunrise this morning was at 5:46, sunset tonight at 8:11. That means we get 14 hours and 25 minutes of daylight, although we're not going to see the sunshine today, but it's going to be mild. All right, that's your forecast. It's just about 9 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. It's just a 1-minute break, so grab your cup of coffee and your cinnamon roll and come right back and join us, and we'll get the news heading your way in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on this Wednesday morning on the NCW Life Channel.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow. We have live bands to rock the night away, comedy to make you laugh, and if that's not enough, we have poker every Monday and Wednesday night. Club Crow in Cashmere has it all. Check out our Facebook event page for dates and times. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Why run all over town when you can get the financial services you need under one roof? The location is 521 Chelan Street right here in Wenatchee. Accounting solutions for success. Insurance from trusted choices. Real estate, the power of the edge. Personal, professional, preferable. It's all right here. Get the edge on your financial needs. Now available in Chelan as well. Get more information at augustedge.com.
And we are back at 10 minutes after the hour. Overcast and 50 degrees, near 80 for our afternoon high today. Warmest day of the year is heading our way, but again, lots of clouds and the temperature drops way down to the upper 60s on Thursday, then back up to the 70s on Friday with sunshine, and then a mixed bag. A little bit of rain, a little bit of clouds, and a little bit of wind coming up over the weekend. Here's what's making headlines. A Malaga man allegedly displayed a handgun Monday because he was angry about construction going on next door, then assaulted his spouse and lunged for a firearm when sheriff's deputies arrived. 53-year-old Gustavo Gomez Gutierrez remains jailed after the arrest at his home. This happened about 3:30 in the afternoon on Monday. Deputies arrived after construction workers next door said Gomez complained about the dust from their worksite while carrying a pistol. Deputies say they entered the house after seeing Gomez grappling with his wife through a door window. He allegedly ran for his bedroom, tried to reach a handgun on the nightstand. Deputies at that point overpowered him. He faces possible charges of attempted assault, domestic violence, and resisting arrest. Police have identified the Wenatchee man who was shot and killed by Douglas County Sheriff's deputy exactly 1 week ago. Thomas M. Mathis III was 29 years old. He was a guest in the home of a couple living on Normal Lane on April 21st. Shortly after 11 o'clock in the evening, a male resident at the home dialed 911, left the line open. Rivercom dispatchers heard the sounds of a physical altercation. Police said at some point, Mathis armed himself with a handgun. An arriving deputy opened fire. Mathis pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators so far have not identified the deputy who fired the fatal shots. The case is under investigation by a multi-agency task force. A Wenatchee man is jailed on a $10,000 bond after police arrested him in a series of vehicle thefts. 31-year-old Jordan Matthew Templeton allegedly arrived early Sunday at one location on Crescent Street. He was driving a stolen car, parked it, stole a second car from that location. Both, by the way, were Honda Accords. The owner of the second car saw the thief, described him to police. Police identified Templeton as the suspect when they arrested him near Cross Street and Terminal Avenue. He was allegedly carrying car burglary tools and a small amount of heroin. They suspect he may have been carrying out previous auto thefts in the south end of Wenatchee. A major new subdivision could bloom in the foothills above. Wenatchee Triad Maple is a Seattle development group, and they want to put nearly 400 new residential lots on undeveloped land recently annexed by the city. Bart and Sheila Clennon own the property. The site plans filed with the city earlier this month are just one step in getting the new neighborhood approved. The Triad development is one of at least 5 that have been proposed in or near the Wenatchee foothills, but it would be the largest of the bunch. Should be about 167 acres in size. Unemployment rates have skyrocketed here in Washington state since the COVID-19 pandemic forced major social restrictions all over the place. In a Zoom interview, Governor Jay Inslee told our very own Jefferson Robbins the state is trying to catch up with the record number of unemployment applications and talked about what a post-pandemic Washington state may look like.
Every county in Washington has at least doubled the number of unemployment claims since last year, and Employment Security Department has had some trouble keeping up with the demand on the system. Do you feel confident that ESD is able to meet those needs now going forward? We're expecting more jobless claims this weekend, for instance.
Well, no, we have been deluged by this, tidal wave of applicants. This is like 7-8 times more than at the height in a single week of the Great Recession. So we are building up our capacity to try to respond as quickly as possible to this tsunami. And we're hiring about 200 people a week to be able to help process those claims. The Employment Security Department has also adopted new technology to try to channel some of these inquiries to make them more efficient using new technology. But there is going to be, unfortunately, some frustration of people right now. I feel it deeply. Look, people are waiting for their claims. That's extremely frustrating. That's why we've dedicated every possible resource to getting the system to be as functioning as possible. There is good news is that we're told, at least as a few days ago, we were getting the checks out. Once the claims were approved, the checks were being delivered in a timely fashion. But we want to get the processing of the claims much more rapidly. And we're going to do everything we can to do that as soon as humanly possible.
What is all this? I mean, this has changed norms for a lot of people. What does this experience tell you about the ways that we live and the way our systems and our government operates in Washington, and how they might have to change permanently?
Well, I guess what I've seen is a lot of creativity. It's convinced me again that Washingtonians are a very creative, innovative people, and we have found new ways of doing business, certainly electronically, we have in our state government. companies have shown that they can operate remotely with a lot of great success, frankly. I think one thing coming out of this is that we're going to find a lot more communication electronically, so we don't have to commute, frankly, and save a lot of money on gas. That might be one thing coming out of here. The other thing, as I've learned, is that when people work together, they can do really big things. I think Washington is as united as it has ever been around a central mission, and that's the mission is to defeat this virus. I saw a poll the other day, I think it was this morning, like 75 or 77% of people were committed to this mission and believe it has been a success. You know, we couldn't get 77% to agree on, you know, what day was Thanksgiving usually in the state of Washington. And we're seeing massive compliance. People are following this. They are staying home in large numbers. We've reduced physical interactions by maybe 50%. And this is really hard slogging. This is just tough. I mean, you know, my brother and sister-in-law in East Wenatchee, they don't get to see, you know, my 102-year-old mother-in-law is frequently. And this is hard work, but people are doing it because they understand that life itself is at stake. I'm just glad to be able to say how proud I am of our state right now. The rest of the country is paying attention. There are a lot of calls asking how we've been successful here. I'd like to brag about our state.
Governor, what do you think is the first thing that you will do when stay home, stay healthy is you're able to set that aside and you're able to do something that these ground rules right now forbid?
Well, I will go wrestle with my 4 grandchildren and then go visit my 102-year-old mother-in-law and take her some flowers. Looking forward to that.
Very good. I appreciate your time today, sir, and I wish you best of health.
Thank you. Wash your hands.
The number of people hospitalized for COVID-19 in our area has fallen in the last couple of weeks at Central Washington Hospital, but at the same time, Confluence Health and hospitals across the state are concerned people are not seeking treatment for other health issues. As of Monday afternoon, 7 people were being treated for the coronavirus at Central Washington Hospital. 4 of those are in ICU. The focus on the COVID-19 outbreak has created a, quote, scary trend happening across the state, end quote. That's according to Andrew Canning of Confluence Health. He said people are delaying the care needs and putting themselves at risk. The Washington State Hospital Association says an abnormally low number of patients seeking routine medical care for new or chronic health conditions have led to more severely ill people showing up at the hospital. Both Confluence and the association say they are prepared and able to safely treat patients. The Chelan County PUD isn't sure yet how hard the COVID-19 pandemic is hitting its customers financially. The PUD has waived late payment fees and halted disconnects through the end of July, but PUD commissioners said at their Monday meeting they're not sure what more they can do. The PUD staff said they've seen a modest increase in customers seeking assistance, and past due revenue has increased somewhat. The Helping Hands Fund, a federal and customer-funded service to help customers in need, however, has seen 118 people seek assistance since March 1st. Normally, about 5 to 10 people use that fund each month. The commissioners say they will watch closely in the coming months to monitor any struggles, financial struggles, that their customers are having. And finally, this is cool. After a 30-year career in law enforcement, Grant County Sheriff's Deputy Wade Hilliard signed off on Monday. It was not a normal sign-off for Deputy Hilliard, though. His final call was delivered by his daughter, who is a 911 dispatcher, Amy Hilliard.
Show me out of service for the final time.
GT-15 Deputy Hilliard, thank you for your 30 years of service to the citizens of Grant County. Deputy Hilliard started his career as a volunteer with the Spokane Police Department co-op program while attending Spokane Community College, where he earned his degree in criminal justice. He was hired by the Everett Police Department in 1990, where he served 6 years as a patrol officer. In 1996, he transferred to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, where he was served the last 24 years. The majority of his career was dedicated to the Marine Patrol Unit, where he was recognized both nationally and by the state of Washington for his service. He was an instructor and mentor in law enforcement boating and boating safety to many agencies around the state. He obtained his captain's license in 2016 from the U.S. Coast Guard. Deputy Hilliard also served as a patrol deputy, public works deputy, motor traffic deputy, school resource officer, and firearms instructor. You've been a mentor and great friend to many during your career. We appreciate all your hard work and dedication. We thank you and wish you well in your future endeavors. And Dad, our family's happy to welcome you home for good. All units on law dispatch, AT-15 out of service for the final time. I love you, Daddy. 1547.
Been a great career and great family.
That's cool. Happy retirement to Deputy Hilliard. And that's what's making news at 21 minutes after the hour. We'll have another newscast for you tonight. We're cranking them out because, quite frankly, there's a lot of news. Most of our coworkers, as you know by now, are working remotely from home. Some of us are coming in a kind of a staggered schedule, and we're observing the social distancing and the stay healthy orders. But we're still able to crank out a newscast, and we're quite proud of it, to preview tonight's newscast. The anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the latest COVID-19 news from around our four-county area. All of your warm and windy North Central Washington weather forecast, and continuing to stay home and stay healthy, Eric Granstrom will have a look at all the day's sports news. That and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Had a chance to catch up with Eric yesterday on the telephone. He's getting a little stir crazy. That's understandable. Hang in there, my friend. If you want to get a hold of us, you can do it. We give you lots of different tools. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. News@ncwlife.com is our email address. If you go to our website at ncwlife.com, you can either submit a news tip. It's very simple to do. Or you can contact us. There's a contact us icon at the top of the screen. Or you can go to our Facebook page and drop us a line via Facebook Messenger. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Eric's conversation with Wenatchee High alumnus and University of Washington standout offensive lineman Trey Adams. He's here in the big city, waiting to go to Buffalo. That's coming up. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Hi, I'm Chelan County Commissioner Kevin Overbay. I urge all of you to stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. You can help our community out by urging your friends and relatives from other parts of the Northwest to please stay home. We have a beautiful county with places that people like to visit, but their visits are putting a strain on our resources, our first responders, and our health professionals. Please help us get the message out. We love visitors, but wait until we've gotten through the coronavirus pandemic to come see us. I know that this community will do all that they can to help us get through the coronavirus. Thank you, and be well.
And we're back at 24 minutes after the hour. Let's talk sports. Wenatchee native Trey Adams is pretty darn happy. He's going to get a shot to play in the NFL. He's 6'8" tall. He weighs 327 pounds. He's a big guy. He's an offensive tackle. He signed with the Buffalo Bills as an undrafted free agent on Saturday. The Bills finished 10-6 last season. They made it to the first round of the playoffs, the wild card round, and then they lost in a wild game to the Texans in overtime, 22-19. Trey Adams joined Eric for a Zoom conference on Monday from his dad's house up on Wenatchee Heights. Adams says he's excited to go out and explore upstate New York. In fact, like the rest of us, Trey Adams is excited just to get out of the house.
I just want to put the pads on. I can't even, suit up or see any of my buddies or, do anything. So it's kind of been weird for me. It's been weird for everybody. So it's been good, though.
So the draft ends at some point, Saturday night, you get a call from Buffalo. What happened?
Yeah, right after the draft, got a call from a couple teams. But ultimately, me and my family and my agent, my girlfriend all decided, I think Buffalo's a good fit. We got some guys coming back and also just a good culture there. I've heard a lot of good things. My agent knows a lot of people there, and just excited. I mean, they're an up-and-coming team, and, Buffalo, I've heard cool things. Rule at New York is apparently pretty cool. I think that's kind of like a Spokane area, it sounds like. So that's all exciting, but what the real exciting thing is just, the opportunity.
Trey says no matter what happens, he wants everybody in the Wenatchee Valley to know how much their support means to him.
And I know I wouldn't be here without my family or like any of the coaches at Wenatchee, all my friends. Like, I wouldn't be here without you. Like, everyone has been behind me and pushed me, and it's just exciting, and I'm grateful for it. I'm happy. Like, it's just going to be a good experience, and like, it's going to be awesome. I hope everyone's a Buffalo Bill fan now.
Well, I know we got Grant Olson in our building that is a huge Buffalo fan. He's been a Buffalo fan forever. So
Awesome.
I know he's going to be rooting for you. That's for sure.
Cool. That's awesome. Tell him I say hi.
And with the stay home, stay healthy order in place, Trey says he's doing all that he can to keep himself in shape.
Personally, I'm feeling great. I've been doing yoga every morning, trying to like stay limber, and I think I see your shoulders are a little tight. You might try some yoga here soon.
Yeah, my wife's been trying to get me to do that, and my daughter too. So somebody's sending me a message here. So yoga, for the big guy. I like that. Okay.
Oh yeah, dude, yoga. My mom's got a little yoga studio we set up. We get up at like 7 a.m. The thing is, you get in the hot tub first. You get the wadi warm, maybe a little cup of coffee, and then you do yoga for hour 15. And then the whole day you just feel like relaxed and ready to go. You feel good, man.
So aside from the yoga, your mom's studio, how else are you able to work out?
Yeah, I mean, just having weights. Luckily, I have like weights at home, and like I'm able to do certain things that other guys can't. It's crazy I even have to like say that. Like, usually everything's open, but yeah, I mean, and I do homemade workouts too. Like, I've been able to do like pushing the truck and like pushing the Can-Am, the four-wheeler, holding buckets of rocks, like kind of getting creative with it, which is kind of fun. I've been chopping a lot of wood, and really just being outside. Like, I'm looking outside right now. Like, I want to go outside because it's so nice.
Adam says, regardless of what happens with his NFL career, when it's all said and done, he'll return to the Wenatchee Valley to work and live because he said this is home and always will be. Best of luck to Trey. Didn't take long for DJ Fluker to find a home. Just a day after being released by the Seahawks, he was picked up by the Baltimore Ravens. And in addition, Seattle picked up another defensive back off the waiver wire. Say hello to cornerback Jason Stanley. He's now with the Seattle Seahawks. He was released by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He originally signed in 2019 with the Falcons as an undrafted free agent out of Georgia as a wide receiver. Failed to make the Falcons roster at a training camp. Stanley spent time on the practice squad of both the Miami Dolphins and the Jaguars during the past season. Well, the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, other professional sports teams and leagues are trying to figure out how the future looks like with the pandemic. A suggestion being looked at by Major League Baseball could split the teams into 3 divisions. This is kind of interesting. Take a look at this. So you would have in the Western, you would have a Western, Central, and Eastern division. The West would consist of the Mariners, the Giants, the A's, the Dodgers, the Angels, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, the Rangers, and the Astros. In the Central Division, you would have Minnesota, you got the Royals, you got the Cardinals, you got the Brewers, you got the White Sox, the Cubs, Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Toronto. The Eastern Division would include Boston, the Yankees, the Mets, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and the Marlins. There's also a suggestion in order to start play by June or July, teams will play games without fans in ballparks in Arizona, Texas, and Florida. Baseball officials have told the union what they're thinking, but there's been no official proposal put forth yet. I'll take baseball of any kind at this point. Those are just some of the games that people aren't playing at 29 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today, I had 3 of them to choose from. International Dance Day. I have no sense of rhythm. My dancing ability increases, I've noticed, though, with consumption of alcohol. Don't know how that happens. It's National Shrimp Scampi Day, but no, it's National Zipper Day because there's the zipper. Take a look at that. It was on this day back in 1913, April 29, 1913, when Gideon Sunback got the patent for the first modern-day zipper. Now, the zipper had existed before. A guy by the name of Whitcomb Judson invented the first zipper way back in 1893. He unveiled it at the Chicago World's Fair, but it wasn't really practical. It didn't work. So Whitcomb Judson gets the nod as the guy who invented the zipper, but the first real workable zipper as we know it today was patented on this state by getting some back. Of course, zippers are one of those little things that we take for granted. I mean, it helps me hold up my pants, for one thing. I don't know how to celebrate National Zipper Day. You got me. By the way, almost half of the world's zippers are manufactured by one company, the YKK Group of Japan. They manufacture about half of the world's supply of zippers. Happy National Zipper Day. It is 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 50 years ago today, during the Vietnam War, the United States and South Vietnamese forces invaded Cambodia because, well, the Viet Cong was crossing the border. It didn't work. It didn't work at all because the Viet Cong knew exactly what they were planning to do. So all they did was they just fell back and went deeper and deeper into Cambodia, and the United States just kept bombing and shooting, and they weren't getting anybody because they knew the planned attack was coming. Yeah, they escalated the Vietnam War. Into Cambodia we go to fight the Viet Cong. Didn't work. Happened on this date 50 years ago today. The secret came out 34 years ago today. We talked about this yesterday. Sweden said, well, there's a lot of radiation coming from someplace in the Soviet Union. And finally, European spy satellites and American spy satellites adjusted their flight path. They flew over Chernobyl a couple of times. They said, yeah, something really big is going on here. And the Soviet Union said, I guess we just can't keep this a secret much longer. How many people actually died from the Chernobyl disaster, which is the worst nuclear disaster in the history? Nobody really knows. In the thousands and thousands, because people were exposed to radiation and then would die, years and years later. But anyway, the secret was out on this state 34 years ago today. Freaked a lot of people out, too. Speaking of people getting freaked out, the LA riots broke out on this state 28 years ago today, April 29th, 1992. You know what happened. The 4 police officers who were charged with beating Rodney King were acquitted, and a lot of people in Los Angeles were not very happy about that. The rioting lasted for 3 days. 63 people died. Hundreds of buildings were burned to the ground. 2,383 people were injured. 12,000 people were arrested. The Los Angeles riots of 1992 broke out 28 years ago today. And it was 5 years ago today. The Baltimore Orioles defeated the Chicago White Sox at Camden Yards in Baltimore. The final was 8-2. Total paid attendance, 0. There were riots in Baltimore, of course, that was going on there. There was a curfew going on. It takes quite a number of law enforcement officers and security personnel to run a baseball game, and they decided, if we don't have any fans, we don't have to worry about having security personnel and police there, and they have other more important things to do, and so they did the entire game with nobody in attendance. Happened on this date 5 years ago today. Must have been weird for the players. Birthdays. I don't know what to tell you about Edward Kennedy, Duke Ellington. If there's a American musical Mount Rushmore, this guy's on it. No doubt about it. I mean, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Cocktails for Two, Diminuendo and Crescendo in Blue, Take the A Train, the famous Black, Brown, and Beige, Black and Tan Fantasy, Moon Indigo, the great Blanton Webster Band of the 1940s. An absolute giant in American musical history. I listened to a lot of Duke Ellington when I got home yesterday, and I think I'll listen to more today. You can't get much better than the Duke. We lost the Duke, of course, many, many years ago, but the music lives on. The legend, Duke Ellington. Born in the state in 1899. Speaking of musical legends, Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson is 88 years old today. There are 2 Willie Nelson albums that must be on anybody's turntable. Red-Headed Stranger and Shotgun Willie, his 2 best albums. Most of the work that he has done, of course, has been really good. Willie Nelson is 88 years old today. Somebody should probably tell him. We lost Dale Earnhardt, of course, at the 2001 Daytona 500 when he crashed and died in the final lap. He was born in the state of 1951. He was 49 years old when he died. He won 76 Winston Cup races, Dale Earnhardt Sr., and 7 NASCAR championships, which is tied for first all time with Richard Petty and Jimmy Johnson. Dale Earnhardt, born in the state of 1951. Jerry Seinfeld is 66 years old today. There he is. He was the only actor to appear in every episode of Seinfeld, and most experts agree he is the richest or wealthiest comedian, if you will, ever. And that includes Bob Hope, who made a ton of money. Jerry Seinfeld made a little bit more. Happy 66th birthday to Jerry Seinfeld. And Daniel Day-Lewis, who tells everybody he is completely retired from professional acting. He's never going to act again. He's done. He is so good. I watched the movie Lincoln a few days ago. He's just phenomenal. He is the only male actor in history to win 3 Academy Awards for Best Actor. My Left Foot, There Will Be Blood, and for Lincoln. Daniel Day-Lewis is 61 years old today. Going to take a break. Mike Magnotti has got an opinion. He'll give you something to think about. He always does. Then we'll come back and we'll replay the interview I did with Festival Administrator Darcy Christofferson about what they're planning to do to see if they can get 101st Washington State Apple Blossom Festival sometime this year. My conversation with Darcy is coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Integrative Chiropractic and Rehab Clinic is on North Mission Street. If you've been injured on the job, in an automobile accident, or a sports injury, call today and try his wraparound services. Call 884-HELP. That's 884-4357. Call Dr. Latimer's Integrative Chiropractic and Rehab Clinic today.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, okay, I need to know, does my wife Rosie have some kind of superpower? It seems like everywhere I'm about to go, she either gets there first or gets in my way. Now, the other day I was about to get a paper towel, and as soon as I turned in that direction, she got between me and the paper towel dispenser. And she put something in the trash. You know, another time I just turned to go into our kitchen computer, and as I headed there, she got in front of me, already sitting down at the desk. You know, and it's not just in our home where this happens, it's everywhere. And not only that, just as I'm about to do something, like open a window, she says to me, Mike, open the window. This happens all the time. Now I need to know, does every wife do this? I really think I need to report this to someone. I mean, this is a miracle. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. It is Thursday as we tape this, and normally, be it any other year, today would be the beginning of the 10-day party we like to call the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, the 101st Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Obviously, we're not down at the Giza Entertainment stage. We're not doing Cheap for a Day on this Thursday. Everything is on hold as far as the Apple Blossom Festival is concerned. Darcy Christofferson, no stranger to this program, is the festival administrator. Darcy, first of all, thanks for joining me. I want to start right off by asking you personally, how are you doing? Because this is your baby. You've been doing this for 25 plus years. This has got to be, it's got to be tough.
You would start that as the first question. It's weird. It's sad. You know, right now I would be finally doing the final touches for the park, you know, be working with Weinstein Beverage, who does a lot of our banners for us. They'd be doing last minute banners, and I'd be working with the food vendors, making sure that they're ready to open at 11 o'clock. And at noon would be the start of Chief for a Day, which, you know, is one of my favorite events for the kickoff of the festival. And the beer garden would be opening up at 4 o'clock, and it's very surreal. It kind of reminds me, actually, I don't know if you remember, but in 1996, I was on bed rest, for the whole festival.
Yep.
And now that baby is going to be 21 on Grand Parade Day. And it kind of reminds me of that time, except we still had a festival. So we didn't have, what we have now where we can Zoom and do Skype. We did everything on the phone on bed rest. So it kind of reminds me of that, but we still had a festival. And, right now we're not having one. And it's just very surreal and sad. But I do believe that we will have one and we will get through this. We're a tough community, and this community and the sponsors love this festival. So I think no matter if we have one in the summer or if we do have to cancel, we'll survive, and we'll have a great one in either 2020 or in 2021. So that's just kind of where I'm at right now. It's just a lot of mixed emotions, but I also feel really grateful that I do live in this community and that people are so positive and so uplifting during this time too. So it's just kind of really a lot of mixed emotions right now, for sure.
How's the if I feel sorry for any one group or people, it would be the Royal Court. This is supposed to be one of those 10 days that they relive for the rest of their lives. They're tight friends. They're with their chaperones. How are they holding up? How's the Royal Court holding up in all of this?
I've been Zooming them every Monday. Aaron and I have been Zooming them just to touch base with them, kind of see how they're feeling. When they were chosen, literally the day that we had the shutdown was when we were taking pictures at Parsons. So we were with each other all day on that Thursday, taking pictures, recognizing our sponsors. They were wearing all their outfits. I mean, that's the only time now that they've been able to wear every single one of their outfits. It's just crazy. So we were together then, and then we never saw each other again. So it's all been via video or texting. But these are amazing girls, and again, very uplifting girls. They've created fun things to do. Queen Tess is building a fence with her stepdad, and she's going on hikes with her brother. She actually said, that this has been awesome for my brother and I, her younger brother, and that they really kind of bonded through this. Kaya has been babysitting and hiking a lot, and Kelly, she's been running. So her and Aaron, my assistant, we're doing this contest of see how many miles we can walk, that'd be me, or run a week. So we text each other every day and tell each other what we've been doing. So it's hard, but they're just doing really well, and they feel good that they think hopefully that we'll be able to maybe attend a festival this summer. Seafair has not canceled yet. Spokane moved their festival to the same day as Seafair. So that's something that we'd have to make a decision on, whether we take the little float to one and then the big float to another, and maybe figure that out. Kashmir has not canceled yet, and theirs is scheduled for June 26th. So hopefully they'll be able to go to a few parades, and then hopefully we might have one. So they're very positive. Their outlook is very positive.
When you talk to your volunteers and your director general and the people who constitute the organizational committees of the Apple Blossom Festival, what are some of the events that, I'm just going to throw some out there, the golf tournament, the All-Service Club luncheon, the parade, what are some of the events that if we're going to have an Apple Blossom Festival, you simply got to have these events to even make it a festival? What are some of the things that you would consider absolutely uncancelable if you can possibly avoid it?
Right. So right now, it's a waiting game. We have 5 different dates in line. There's 2 in June, 1 in July, and 1 in August. And these are dates that we've come up with talking to other vendors, what's happening in their world, would they even be able to come to a festival? So with us talking about it, our dream would still be able to have, oh, sorry, that's my dog. Our dream would be able to have some type of a festival. Our dream would be to have a 10 or 11-day one. But as time is going on, we're kind of thinking the June dates probably aren't going to happen. So we're kind of leaning more towards the August date, where we would still have a luncheon. We'd still have the golf tournament. We'd still have food in the park, arts and crafts, entertainment. And maybe we would have a fun parade, maybe a torchlight parade, and we would honor the little daycares that weren't able to do the youth parade, and maybe they could do, the bands could get together. That's what's hard about having a summer parade, is that, you know, school's out and these bands can't get together and perform or practice. But we're kind of at that point, and I think our community is too, is we don't care what they play. I mean, we just want to see them. We want to be on the curb cheering people on. I would love to honor our seniors and have them, see, now I'm going to get emotional, have them in the parade, you know, in their caps and gowns or in their baseball uniforms. I would love to do that and honor them in August, for sure.
I didn't mean to make you cry, Darcy. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Your sponsors have gone above and beyond, right? I mean, they're on board. Whatever happens is going to happen, but they're not going anywhere.
I have not gotten one phone call saying I want to not sponsor and not be a part of this, whether we cancel or not. And that is amazing and such a blessing. I've gotten wonderful mentorships from sponsors. You know, I've worked with these people, the majority of them, you know, for 25 years. So I've talked to many of them to ask opinions, advice, you know, should we have a parade? Should we continue doing this? And most of them are like, yes, let's figure this out. But we also have to be aware of what's happening and not jump the gun. So, but I have not, whether you're a $50 sponsor or a $10,000 sponsor, not one has called and said I'm out, which is absolutely amazing and awesome.
And it should be pointed out, if you go to appleblossom.org, you can still get your stuff. You can get the swag that Darcy normally brings us. You can get your sweatshirts and your pins and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we have awesome clothing this year, and you can go online, order it online. It can be delivered to the office, and then we are there between 10 and 12 on Monday and Wednesday to run the bag out to you or leave it on the front step. And a lot of people have been doing that, which is great, you know, because we've ordered everything. You know, we have all of our booster pins. So if you want a booster pin, please order one, because you know, we have them. And that's what's been tough. It's been a good thing and a bad thing. It's like March, we have it, we ordered everything. So it's like, okay, we have all this stuff and we may not have a festival. But again, people have stepped up and said, I'll buy that pin, you know, I'll do that to support the festival. Because, you know, the dollars that we make for a festival, it's not only for that particular festival, it carries on. So we can do a 2021 festival. I mean, the money that we make or generate for 2021, a lot of that goes to, the money that we make for 2020 goes to 2021. I mean, that's how we have created our festival, and that's why it's successful, is because we think of the next year, why we're doing the year. So, you know, people buying that booster pin is going to help us have a festival in 2021.
Darcy, you mentioned that you have a couple of dates in June out there, and then maybe July, and then maybe August. At what point, June is looking doubtful at this point, at what point through, as we go further and further into this year, and maybe things start returning to normal, but at what point do you have to say, we simply are going to have to just not do it because we're either going to run out of dates, or we're going to be conflicting with other festivals, or we won't be able to have food vendors, or the carnival can't come, that kind of stuff? Do you have any kind of date circle on your calendar where you're going to have to make a decision one way or the other, where we're going to have one or not?
What we're doing right now is, hopefully, if the state is opened up on May 4th, our plan is to have a meeting on May 6th. So we will be meeting on May 6th, and then that is when we would love to make that decision. I talk to Lori, our Director General, Lori Reed, at least twice a week, and we just talked yesterday. And we believe that definitely, like you just said, the June dates are probably unrealistic, which would have been awesome dates for our food vendors. But we hopefully will have a decision on May 6th, whether these are our dates that we're going to have a festival or we're going to cancel. And again, it just all depends on what happens on May 4th or before May 4th.
So
it's just hard.
The best case scenario is a full festival. That's, that might be pie in the sky thinking. But like a 3-day festival, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday with the parade on Saturday and a golf and all service club, that's still very much within the realm of possibility, just a condensed festival, correct?
Yeah, and that's where this August festival kind of comes in. We would have like the All Service Club luncheon on a Tuesday, and then the golf tournament on a Wednesday, and then we would still have arts and crafts and some food vendors. I don't know if we'll have all 21, but again, some of the festivals that they were planning to go to have canceled, so they might be open to coming to our festival. And like I said, maybe we'd have a torchlight parade. I mean, that would be kind of fun to have a torchlight parade. We've never done one, and we've talked about it before. We talked about it probably 10 years ago about what if we had a torchlight parade? It's always so hot or windy at 11 in the morning, but we're like, maybe we'll do that this year. Maybe we'll just change things up. We'll definitely have a beer garden. People love that. I know. So that's kind of our vision. It'll be nothing like, right now, because that's what's so great about our festival is, we are celebrating spring and we're celebrating the blossoms. And in August, maybe it'll be more like good luck at school, going away to college and starting harvest, so we believe that if we did it in September, Wenatchee's kind of just a different world in September. They're focused on their kids going back to school, activities with your kids, college has started. Our auction is in October. So it's kind of tough to think about what we would do in September. Those dates have not come up yet. But if we did something in August, we've talked about working with the Downtown Association and having a street fair in conjunction with what we're doing at the park, and working with Alex at the Performing Arts Center and maybe doing a kids event at the fountain, working with Pybus and having them have event down there the same time that we're doing this. So it would still be a community celebration, but just different than what we're used to, but we'll be taking different pieces of the festival. I'm calling it festival cheer throughout the year. Where we just are taking little pieces of what we love about the Downtown Association and what we love about Pybus and what we love about Apple Blossom and what we love about the PAC, and just kind of putting it all together in August and making it happen. So having a little car show again, like we did a few years ago downtown. So I think every car show's canceled. So, maybe just doing little pieces of whatever and having a celebration. Because I really believe that our community wants us to do something, and wants not just the Apple Blossom Festival, but the Downtown Association, the Chamber, Pybus. They want us all to do something to celebrate something.
Well, instead of having an Apple Blossom Festival in spring, we have an Apple Harvest Festival in September.
Yep. Or you can call it a Blossom and Brews Festival, there's all different names. And you're right, we probably would just change it. We also said the Apple Blossom Festival limited edition. So there's different things that we've kind of come up with, and we'll take suggestions. If anybody has any, but I would think the August date is the most realistic if we're even able to do that. Again, it's up to the governor telling us if we can even have large gatherings in the summer. So that's where we're kind of at right now.
I, for one, am gonna miss the next 10 days. You know me, I love the Apple Blossom Festival. I grew up with it. My family's been involved with it. It's gonna be a tough 10, 11 days for me. I can't imagine what you're gonna go through. But Darcy, I'm gonna let you have the final word to the viewers of this show and to the folks of North Central Washington. Give us a good old-fashioned Darcy Christopherson Apple Blossom pep talk. I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Well, what we're really encouraging people to do is to share their memories of Apple Blossom on our Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, or on NCW Life's Facebook. Just celebrating your memories of Apple Blossom, because that's why we're so sad, and that's why it's hard, is because we all have amazing memories, whether it was cruising, whether it was being crowned queen, whether it was your first youth parade. We all have those memories that we've had for 50 years. And we want you to share those memories, and that will be a great way to just remember the festival. We do live in a very, very special place. And I know that we will get through this. It'll be different, but I do believe this community will rally and support the festival, the WDA, the PAC. They will rally, and we will come back better than ever. So we just really encourage people to share your memories and, continue supporting this community. It's very uplifting when you do get text messages from people and phone calls and private messages just saying, we got this. And it's pretty awesome. So I know we're going to be okay no matter what, whether we postpone, whether we cancel. We, the festival, are going to be okay, and our community is going to be okay.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, Darcy. And I'd like to touch base with you again, maybe in a couple of weeks after some things have passed and we're through that May 4th deadline, and maybe get an update from you if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Hopefully, I can come in there and sit and see you.
Yeah. Darcy, it's always good to see you. Skype or no Skype.
Bye-bye.
Darcy, say bye-bye. Danny, say bye-bye. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Mike's Meats and Seafood is open for business. All your favorite items, including ready-to-heat meals, individually packed to your order. Enter at the north door of the Pybus Market from 10 to 6 daily. Fire at the Pybus Market will continue offering to-go, curbside, and delivery services from 12 to 8 p.m. daily. The menu is available on Facebook or online at viscontis.com. All the fresh produce, breads, and many other hard-to-find items are still available at Royal Produce at the Pybus Market. Use the west side entrance and get what you need today.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special. And we're back live here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. Let's wrap up the program the way we began the program, that all-important weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Look at that, 79 degrees. Now, we're going to have lots of clouds. What's happening is there's some warm air coming in almost directly from the south. It's got a bit of a moisture to it, so it's going to be kind of humid, certainly cloudy, but very warm. That's 79. If we get there and we're on our way, it would be the warmest day of the year so far. Increasing clouds tonight. We'll get down to about 50 or so for the overnight low, and then the temperatures just crash right down. We'll be at least 10 degrees cooler on Thursday. It's also going to be breezy. You combine the fact that warm ridge is going to move out of the area. It's going to be windy and it's going to be cloudy. It may feel, anyway, even cooler than 69 degrees, but that 69-degree high tomorrow is actually still warmer than normal. It's also going to be breezy on Thursday and Thursday night. First day of May, Friday, lots of sunshine, and then a mixed bag, some rain, some sun, and some wind for the weekend. Everybody have a fantabulous Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.